So we're gonna do the MSQ. 7.4 MSQ. I finished the Arcadian earlier, like the final part of the quest. So yeah, we're gonna do this. I don't remember exactly where we left off with 7.3. We defeated Calyx and he didn't die, like he managed to get away at the very last percent. And he was talking with the Nassian, of course. And after that, aside from that, from our side, I think the people from Alexandria are coming to terms with death and all that in their situation. So I think it was something like that. Oh yeah, there was a kind of ceremony. They accepted Sphene as the queen, even though she wasn't trying to be that. Yeah, something like that, yeah. Alright. With the winds. Mokeka. Isn't that like super old food? Like that's pointless. Like, I think it's early expansion food. I feel like it should be current food.
Every day, more and more people regain their memories of their lost loved ones. No longer will beings like Calyx be able to manipulate their fear and ignorance as he once did.
Oh yeah. Their memories were, I wouldn't say erased, but hidden. I heard that
being the case, Alize and I have come to a decision.
I heard apparently Gratia's voice is weird in this MSQ.
We will depart Taral in the coming days. Other nations must be informed about Alexandria, a necessary step to ensure lasting peace.
Makes sense.
Then, we shall return to Garlemald. Our experiences here should serve us well in the ongoing restoration efforts.
Nah, that's something I expected, like they need to go back to Garlemald.
However, one pressing matter remains. Calyx's summoning ritual was tied to a concept of his own creation. Ascian involvement is assured, but we have yet to ascertain the extent of their influence on the Ninth.
I have done what I can to treat the enthralled, and those still afflicted with Levin sickness. I may now devote my undivided attention to an investigation.
Then we shall leave this one in your capable hands. Do let us know if you turn anything up.
It's Erenville. My time in Tural is at an end, and so I'm headed to the harbor now.
Well,
We'll meet
everybody's
again.
leaving.
Of that I'm certain. Until then, I wish you safe travels.
Everybody's leaving just like that.
And pull you away from more important business. Perish the thought.
Yeah, sure.
Hey! What do you think you're doing?
Sorry to interrupt, but I thought you'd like to know. I've detained the fugitive. He promises to tell us before he sets sail, only to try and sneak aboard his boat with nary a hug goodbye. Cold bastard. But there's still time before they weigh anchor.
I think he did say he wanted to travel the world in the last MSQ patch.
That boy. We should make for the harbour ere he wriggles free of Lamachi's grasp.
If we're heading the same way, we might join him on the ship. Good company is always welcome on a long voyage, is it not?
What? Now? I haven't finished packing.
Knowing you, the essentials are already accounted for.
Oh. Fine, if we must. But you're helping pack the rest. And I hope you've decided on a souvenir for Eunice.
Alright, it's good to see them
I have
more
several ideas as it happens.
animated. Because they were so stoic.
Ever aligned in purpose, if not
They
execution.
were so stoic this whole expansion.
Lest you wonder, Kryl and I intend to remain here with Y'shtola.
Yeah, that is weird. I didn't... I have a hard time thinking it's the same guy. Some people are saying it is, but some are questioning, and I'm definitely on the side of questioning.
To continue our study of the key, naturally. By all accounts, Preservation's facility promises to yield some answers.
And it's not because I haven't heard him in a while. I'm playing an alt, and I'm in Shadowbringers. I'm hearing the Crystal Exarch, which is Gratia, all the time. The voice is not the same for one bit. Anyway, let's continue.
Shale has been conducting a more thorough examination. She may have insights to share. Then why not invite her along to see everyone off? Surely she'd want to be there too.
Also, I will be playing Sage for this MSQ. I think I did that the last time too, but I've made my crafted gear for the next Savage as healer. I'm going to be healing it, so the last week I decided I wanted to go with Gunbreaker, but I don't like what they did to Gunbreaker. The feel is still the same, it still feels good, but I don't like that I have nothing to manage anymore. So yeah, I decided I didn't want to play tank. I've been meaning to stop playing tank for a long time before even Donjo, to be honest. But when we did the first tier, like I was leading a group with a bunch of people I knew, and just to make matters easier, I decided to go back to tanking, so it would be easier to make a group, since I wasn't the mind healers and tanks are some of the hardest people to find. So I was like, okay, I'll at least fill a gap there. That was the mindset, and then I found a group. The second group I found, I was a tank, of course. That was the only thing that was geared for ultimate for through. And then I stayed with them, so I stayed tank. But at one point I decided to play warrior instead of Gunbreaker, because I wanted to make to be a bit different, and I had a bit more fun. But yeah, I still grew wary of it at one point. And then I did top. I wanted to do it as Gunbreaker because I did everything, every ultimate as Gunbreaker. I was like, you know what, it's the last one. There you go. And then now I was thinking, I want to stay comfy for the rest of the expansion, but this is not working with what they did with Gunbreaker, and that was the only class I would have wanted to play. I also wanted to change they made that we have more Lionheart. I'm not a fan of, because I don't like Lionheart from a gameplay and feel perspective. The animation is great, kind of. Like, it's a bit goofy, but I'm fine with it. The sound is weak as shit for Lionheart. I really don't like the sound design of it. It really doesn't match the rest of the kit. So I can feel like it's a wet towel at that point. So yeah. And also, this was meant to make your cartridge management easier because in Endwalker, instead of doing Lionheart, we're doing 3 Burst Strike, which is 3 cartridges. Your cartridges were hard to manage in Endwalker. This was meant to alleviate that. And I did think it was okay. I was actually okay with it. It changed the rotation to somewhat, but making having all your cartridges up for your rotation, for your burst, I mean, was fine. Like you weren't super tight for that. There could be moments where you still be missing cartridges, but they were rarer, especially when they made double down a single cartridge. That became even more rare because you only needed 2 cartridges when going into burst. But now they changed that, and yeah, wow. And also, like, the other thing is that I like pressing buttons. When I have more buttons to press, I'm having fun. And because you replaces the 3 Burst Strike to Lionheart, it's 3 buttons less you have to press because Burst Strike has their continuation, while as Lionheart doesn't have that. So it was just less button spammy, and it was a bit more boring for me. I was still fine with it because it was, you know, every 2 minutes. But now it's every minute. And yeah, I'm not a fan of that. I want to press buttons, not press less. And because there's no management of your cartridge anymore, because you get into burst, even if you have 0, you can just press Bloodfest and you have everything for your burst. It gives you 3 cartridges, which is basically 1 Ashing Fang, your double down, and then you do your Lionhearts and Sonic Break, which is all you need in your burst. Not all you need, but like it fits exactly what you need. Your 8 GCDs in your burst. Which means that there's no cartridge management anymore, and I don't like that. And you can't even overcap. You had 3. You will, when you press Bloodfest, you're already at 3. Now you're at 6. Like, what? I'm really not a fan of that. Like, it's not like it was hard to manage in the first place. But there was still a puzzle element sometimes that I actually enjoyed. But like per fight, on the fight basis, like this fight, okay, if I go with this order, if I try to not use burst strikes, if I use less burst strike on this rotation, I'll have everything for my burst, stuff like that. Like there was a management skill that you needed, and that just made it fun for me, and now it's completely irrelevant. So yeah. It's stupid, like there's more thing to manage as Warrior than Gunbreaker now. You have your gauge, Beast Gauge, and you need to make sure you don't overcap, which you can totally do. For now, because at one point they will make the skill, I forgot what it's called, the thing that gives you 50 gauge. They will make it so that it doesn't give you 50 gauge, will give you it will just change the skill to Fell Cleave or whatever, Infuriate, I think it's called. They will just make it so it changes your next use of that Fell Cleave to Infuriate, instead of giving you 50 gauge plus Infuriate. Yeah, I know this is what they will do, so that will be one less thing to manage again. And the other thing you have to manage with Warrior is your timer. You have a buff timer with the Storm Ice, I think it's called. You have to make sure it doesn't run out. That, like, it's not a lot. It's not a lot of things to manage. Like, it's really easy. You just keep an eye on your buff from time to time, and you refresh it when it's convenient. Like, you make sure you don't overcap on your thing, and you make sure that your timer is below 30 seconds, and then you refresh it. That's it. Like, there's a bit of skill expression with that. I say a bit. It's very, very much a bit. But it's more than what Gunbreaker has now. And also the Gnashing Fang change, which now has 2 charges. I think it's overall a positive for that, I'll say that. Because there were moments where I was frustrated with Gnashing Fang drifting. But it was part of the Judd's identity. So I do miss that to some degree. It was part of the puzzle to optimize your rotation and damage. I think what they could have done instead of giving it a second charge, because I do think that second charge is also a problem. And I'll get to that problem in a second. They could have made it... I don't think there's any other skill like that in like what I'm about to say, but I think it could have been a good idea. The cooldown is still 30 seconds, but there is a 10 seconds buffer. By that I mean you need 30 seconds to use it, right? So that it comes back. But then there is like 10 seconds where the cooldown still keep going. And when it reaches that, like, it's basically 40 seconds, and then it stops. The cooldown stops. Whenever you use your Gnashing Fang, that 10 seconds goes a bang. It's a bang. Basically, it bangs 10 seconds of cooldown, and it goes into the next Gnashing Fang cooldown. So basically, saying you wait 35 seconds to use your Gnashing Fang, there's a 5 seconds extra. Your next Gnashing Fang is in 25 seconds. There's a limit of 10 seconds for that instead of having 2 charges. I think that would have been better, personally. And the reason for that is because that's not for current endgame content, it's for old end content. Because there is no Lionheart combo, the play right now is to use double Gnashing Fang under No Mercy. Which is boring as shit. It's boring because now your filler between your bursts, there's no Gnashing Fang. It's basically only 1, 2, 3 and sometimes burst strike. And that's basically everything. I like playing Gunbreaker because Gnashing Fang, you use Gnashing Fang every 30 seconds, it fills a gap in your filler with 3 GCDs where you have to press more buttons. And that was enough to keep me satisfied. You remove that, and Gunbreaker is exactly like everything. It was different from the other things. I'm not saying it was more complex. It was more complex, but not that much. It was still very much an easy job. All the things are easier. But now, it's exactly like the other things. And I'm not interested. I'm no longer interested. I'll play it still from time to time. Like, I still enjoy the tank role. But it is also kind of boring. So, yeah. If I ever go back to tanking and stuff, high-end stuff, I think I'm playing Warrior from now on. I could see myself playing Paladin if they change Hollow Ground. Change the cooldown of Hollow Ground to 6 minutes instead of 7. I'll be more tempted to play it. Because I do think Paladin is somewhat interesting. I say somewhat. Because I like the range attacks and the flexibility you have with disengaging with the enemy and going in range. Like there are stuff like with it that I really enjoyed for Paladin. But the rotation is still very much kind of boring. Like 1, 2, 3, 4, 4, 4, 5, 1, 2, whatever. Like it's a bit more whatever. And Dark Knight, I'm not a fan of Dark Knight. I don't hate it. I can play it, and I just don't care for it. So yeah, take my time, as the tank is probably over. I've seen a lot of people enjoy the changes on Gunbreaker, and I understand why. I definitely do. But for me, they ruin what I enjoy. The feel is still great. It just became boring from a gameplay perspective. I still enjoyed the design of the clicking buttons and all that, and the sound animation. Like everything feels snappy and all that, but still does that for the most part. I just get less of what I like. So yeah. And before level 100, I can't imagine filler being fun in any shape or form. And also the job is heavily nerfed below level 100. Heavily nerfed. They didn't think this through. They nerf Burst Strike and Gnashing Fang damage, like a pretty significant amount. They also nerf Double Down and Lionheart. The thing is that, like I said, you're using 2 times Lionheart in 2 minutes instead of 1. And so on level 100, they said the balance people, they said it's about a 1% nerf, which is okay. I'm okay with that. It probably puts it in line with the other things because Gunbreaker was a bit ahead of the others, so it probably puts it in line. But under level 100, like for all ultimates and Criterion and all that, Gunbreaker is going to be lagging behind. A significant amount, I believe. Oh yeah. Just another thing to show that Square doesn't know what the fuck they're doing with their jobs. Anyway, enough complaining. I've been doing that for the last like 10-15 minutes. Let's do this. What news, Imali? Can't imagine you brought an entourage along to simply say hello. That eager to be on their way, are they? I'll join you. I owe them thanks on behalf of Oblivion after all. And there I thought you would protest against being parted from your work. Well, I am curious to see what emerges once every piece of the puzzle is in place. The majority of the files we've unearthed are encrypted. There's nothing else I can do until the computer's finished with them. Besides, like our friends, Containment Complex 1029 isn't going anywhere. In other words, we won't be getting any answers tonight. I'm afraid not. It's going to be a while yet. Then shall we depart for Tuliyollal forthwith? Even Lamati's strength has its limits. Without further delay then. Yeah, for next Savage, I'll be going with Sage. That was one of the 2 jobs I was stating. The other was Machinist. Like, if I'm going to play a DPS, I think I want to play Machinist. But I figured I don't have the practice for Machinist at all. And thought that I probably shouldn't just yet. Like, I did another Mount Rockon as Machinist, but that was Endwalker. I barely play Machinist in Belchel. I think the DPS I played the most was Viper, but I don't feel like playing Viper. Like, Machinist is the one I prefer of all the DPS. Maybe next expansion, we'll see. I wish you all would not make such a fuss. I'm not fond of emotional partings. At least Alfred and Alize were considerate enough to inform me of their plans in advance by Link Pearl. Some people we know would have burst out of a crate mid-voyage. In any event, I shall wait here until they finish their preparations.
There they are.
You look well. No lingering effects, then?
Ah, I'm hale as ever. And busy with work.
I imagine there's no shortage of affairs to put in order. Are Kona and Galulja faring well?
Kona is off to survey our nation and its peoples. He wants to consult with local representatives and hear their thoughts on our policies. And Galulja's really taken to his training. I feel like he's been spending more time with the Landsguard than me lately.
That's the kid, right? I think he wanted to be a knight, so yeah.
Standing here, I cannot help but remember the day of our arrival in Tuliolol. The rite of succession feels so long ago.
Okay.
We knew not of what would happen between my father and Zorolja, nor of Alexandria and its queen. It was to aid a naive claimant that you came to Tural. But you've done so much more for me. For the entire nation of Tuliyola. We owe you a greater debt than we can ever repay. But that doesn't mean we can't try. Whenever you need an ally, we'll stand with you.
Allow me to echo that sentiment. Not only were you kind to me when I awakened a stranger in my own land, you extended your grace to Alexandria again and again. And, on behalf of myself and my people, thank you for curing the ailment that for centuries tormented us.
I'll look forward to our next visit. I'm sure we'll have exciting stories to share with one another.
One sec. One sec. Okay. Right. Sorry about that.
Ever since I introduced you to Wuklamat, you've faced no end of hardships. Many of them her fault.
Hey, he's not wrong.
Yet I feel no remorse, only gratitude. For without your aid, I would not have had the chance to say goodbye. Nor vow to explore every corner of the world. To see what we haven't seen. Shall we?
Rest assured, upon arriving, we shall make it a priority to visit Tataru and assuage her myriad fears.
I expect the sight of you two will be a balm for her worry-laden heart.
Safe journey. And remember to enjoy it.
Give my regards to Oblivion. And thank you for all you did for my mother.
And there was a storm and we never saw them again. I'm joking. I think I heard that we're supposed to take not necessarily a backseat, but I think Yoshipi said most of the Scions, their story seems pretty complete, so there's a good chance we won't be seeing them next expansion. Although we did say there was one that
Come back soon!
there was one that doesn't feel complete, and that's most likely Cryle.
Take care!
It could be Estinian as well. I think those two could still have a spot. Ishtola for sure. One, she's a fan favorite, and two, she is studying opening gates to other shards and
That
all
was
that.
a proper
So.
send-off. Now, time to get back to it.
Duty ever calls for she who loves her realm.
But yeah, like Alfino, Alize, Grahatia, I think they're taking a backseat. Tancred, Uriange. There's nothing to be said with them anymore.
Right. Though, if you need a break, you're always welcome to visit Ulihiolo. I'll give you the grand tour. I guess they're really over. Your adventures in Tural. I'll remember our time together for the rest of my days.
And the vast majority of people are like, nope, bye. Oh.
The Lance Guard is looking for you. It's sparring time.
Oh, good thing you're here then. Can't miss that.
So let's go already! Everyone's waiting to see the vow resolve in action!
Sorry, I have to go. Till next time.
And thus do they take to the winds.
To follow their own paths in their hearts, as they should.
Into the mist. It's a mystery. Whatever. Now it is our turn to take the next step. The question is in what direction, and that is a matter I should like to discuss with you. Let's get the money. Through the thunder. If I may, I think it's prudent to discuss our future plans elsewhere. We're liable to enter the dock workers here if we linger. Perhaps the beach would be a more appropriate venue. In this temperature?
'Tis truly a beautiful place to roll.
It's just fog. It's beautiful.
An endless ocean and ever-changing sky. First time I saw them, I couldn't believe my eyes. It was like I was walking among images from our oldest records.
What sky? It's only fog!
And beyond that horizon are more lands and more people. That one I still struggle to imagine.
We ourselves hail from beyond that horizon, in fact. Rather, most of us do. I merely thought I did. Oh, that's right. I can only imagine how it must have felt to learn you're a native of our world. The fact that I wasn't born in the land where I've spent most of my life has taken time to sink in. 'Twas not until I met my parents in living memory that the truth of my origin began to feel real. Your experience is not unlike mine. When first I awoke, the realm everyone spoke of sounded nothing like my own. I had to walk its streets, live and breathe it, before I could accept and embrace my new reality. And for me to embrace mine, I need to learn more about my people, the Milala. We should come upon more information in the course of studying the key, but as Shale's investigation of the containment complex is still ongoing, would you mind if we sought a different avenue of inquiry into the history of the Ninth?
I have no objection. What we learn will deepen our understanding of the broader picture.
Agreed. My curiosity extends well beyond our duty to assess Ascian influence.
Yeah, I really don't think it's the same guy.
If it is knowledge of the Ninth's past you seek, I have an idea where to begin. Alexandria was originally part of a landmass known as the Mist Continent.
Ooh.
This continent had been left in ruins in the wake of the storm surge, with Alexandria the sole nation to survive the devastation. The calamity of lightning that ravaged the world.
Aye. Per the sources we recovered from the Underkeep, though the conflict between nations was destructive in its own right, it was Levin that dealt the final blow.
No place was spared its fury, and all was chaos in the castle town. We tried to evacuate the people in airships, Otis, the knights and I, but we couldn't save everyone. Those who survived gathered within the barrier, and we took in as many foreign refugees as we could. Yet, despite the dangerous environment, our system showed that there were some few souls who ventured outside the barrier, into the lands beyond. Beyond? But we thought that was impossible. I was under the impression the star was scoured of life, that man could not survive outside the barrier.
Going by the records, the storm surge extended to every corner of the world. Nothing and nowhere was spared. If anyone did survive out there, it would have been an unimaginable trial.
And yet, those people must have been going somewhere. What if there was a refuge? A place that weathered the storm surge and rebuilt over the intervening 4 centuries.
Given Alexandria's displacement to the source, we had neither cause nor opportunity to survey the remainder of the continent.
Living memory remains physically in the Ninth. If we seek a means of egress, other than the portal connecting it to Alexandria, Perhaps it might lead us to the Mist Continent. Living Memory was not transported here despite being a top Everkeep. In which case, it may have been a physically independent space all along.
Meaning, another point of egress could well exist.
And if it does, someone has to be maintaining it. The mechanical soldiers, for instance.
Shall we have a chat with them and see what they know?
If it please your majesty.
Will you accompany us? If we do land upon the Mist Continent, I would feel much more assured with you at our side.
As would I. Let us make every effort to ensure none of us suffer such a dreadful fate.
Yeah, I'm fairly in the camp that it's no longer the same actor for Grahatia. I saw some people saying like, oh, maybe because of his schedule and all that, he's very busy, tired, blah blah blah, and was recorded from home. It feels too different. Because there was the same thing with Ishtola for main Downtrail, right? Her voice seemed off, but it still seemed like the same voice. And as far as I know, it was recorded from home because she was pregnant or just had her child and all, or whatever, something like that. So it was hard to go over and to the studio and record. So she did it from home, and so the quality was lower. Well, different. Let's say different, but it was lower too. But it still sounded pretty much like her. Here, if it's the same guy, I think he's no longer in the character. Like, I don't know. Now that said, I'll at best be off. I still need to check for decryption errors periodically, so I can only step away for so long. We'll talk, I'll have plenty to share next time we meet. Until then, let the rest of us make ready for a potential foray meet at Leno Nemo. This clerk has made itself available to answer our questions. Clerk PX0093, if one wished to descend the surface from here, how would they typically do so? Living Memory is currently detached from Everkeep and is operating independently while supported by its aerial suspension systems. Thus, both Liv and Leno-based transit is currently unavailable. I apologize for the inconvenience. Despite its ability to remain aloft, perhaps Living Memory was never intended to function in this state indefinitely. If so, we're out of luck. Not necessarily. Liz and Leno's were likely the preferred modes of transportation, but does not preclude the existence of others. In the event of an emergency, how would we evacuate this facility? Consulting emergency systems. Living Memory's airship remains prepared to deploy should evacuation be necessary. Would Your Majesty like to appropriate it? That was easy. An airship? Yes, please, as soon as possible. With Your Majesty's authorization, the vessel can be readied for launch without delay. Allow me a moment to execute the bypass protocols. Safety tests have been successfully completed, setting the Gate of Remembrance as initial destination. Vessel is en route. that my ship? It was purpose-built for living memory, however it was modeled after the vessel Your Majesty used during the Storm Surge era. A replica, still it does me good to see it. Wonder if I'll get that as a mount. I will deploy the gangway for boarding this way, please. Sorry, I'm a bit tired. In order to reach the surface, we must pass through the storm clouds. I advise you to brace for turbulence. I actually didn't realize that living memory was above the 9. I knew it was in the 9, but I didn't realize it was above. It was probably mentioned at one point and I completely forgot. Oh my god. We're actually going on the surface of the 9. That's not something I expected. That's cool. Purple. The ward Alice gave me is reacting. Though not to the extent of the 13th, the etheric imbalance here is severe indeed. Oh yeah, we had that thing to protect us from the void in the... You know, on the 13th, so I guess that also works here. Does serve to impress upon one the marvel of the barrier. The lining in Heritage found is stained by comparison. A land where living reigns. Riku would not be happy here. Riku from Final Fantasy X. A sobering sight to say the least, but I shan't turn back now that we've come this far. Oh, okay. It's just this. Of course we will get a big new area. Like a new zone. It's akin to the Red Moon. Beyond the mountains. Oh, is it already the dungeon? I was expecting one or two more quests before we reach it. There are no structures nor any other signs of survivors that I can see. I suspect the creator made this area unsuitable for habitation due to the increased risk of flooding. Then we should look further afield. In which direction do you think we might find a settlement? If we're at the edge of Alexandrian territory now, the closest city will be Treno, should it survive. As a city-state built on a harbor, it was a nexus of trade and remained neutral throughout the war. We Alexandrians always felt fortunate to have it in our neighborhood, so to speak. Not unlike our Ratatan. Oh yes, Alfino has spoken of Ratatan before. It's through the South Sea Isles, the Milala homeland, correct? Funnily enough, it was also Treno where the Milala first found a home in our world. Truly. Yes, and though the Milala population is where it grew, most continue to feel a strong connection to the city. I like to think that some remain there to this day. Flurk PX no, 0093. Is this ship capable of taking us to Treno? I shall run the flight simulation for the route to Treno. One moment. Simulation complete. There is a near 100% probability that the ship will suffer catastrophic mechanical failure prior to arrival due to ambient lightning. My apologies. Well, thank you for checking. If we cannot fly, then we shall have to walk. Treno lies beyond the mountains, but there should be routes that spare us having to climb. Seriously. That cave system, for instance, assuming it doesn't collapse. Let's try there first. It's crazy how tired I am. Can we see inside? This tunnel appears intact. Though we have no way of knowing what it's like further in. Mind you stay alert for beasts as well, given the barren surrounds, they're surely ravenous. Oh, okay. Alright, Mistwing. Instant Q. First because we're a healer, and second it's the newest dungeon on patch release, so even if I would have wanted DPS, it would have filled almost immediately. Did not expect the Final Fantasy IX battle team there. Appreciate it. Let's say hi to people. Hello, Mr. Paladin. Oh, Catotlepas, okay. Gonna start with the raid ride, I assume. There's a lot of things to hide. Keep in mind. I don't want to aim towards that thing. Rev, go behind. Oh, another earthquake, okay. That Panama. I think we're dead. What? Oh shit. saw that happen. That one is so good. That boss was interesting for sure. Like mechanically it's not that complex, but oh nice. Whee! Yeah, it wasn't that complex, but you know, wrong moves and you get into a situation where you have to die, so that already makes it somewhat interesting. Amdusias. What is Amdusias? Okay. Oh, that just... What? Why did I get hit? Oh, in front there was nothing. Okay. Okay. I thought it was shooting lines in every direction and you have to stand between them. And then I thought it was a raid wide, and then I saw the bone and yep. Interesting. Oh. Ah! Oh shit. That was a good fight. Not the Jabberwock! I thought it was another one, but no. Okay. But yeah, the Paladin saved the run. when it was just me and him, he used cover on me on the party stack. I wonder if it was necessary because I dumped a lot of mids there to make sure we survive. But he still did something that probably saved us. Pepsi Man. Why is he not dodging anything? Seriously. This Viper. Thunder Gust Griffin. Okay. Oh. Just send away from those? Okay. Okay. Oh. Not sure what that tornado did. Nice. Oh, it's literally the same from FF9. It's not even the remix. I appreciate it. Yeah, that thing deserves it. Yeah, so that took nearly half an hour. The damage wasn't particularly good, but the fights weren't particularly easy either. The DPS kept dying a bunch of time, but yeah. First fight, interesting, but I thought it was very repetitive, very fast, because he does the thunder stuff every other attack, it seems like. So it's like, do that, then he does the gaze and go hide and blah blah blah, like whatever. To me that was very whatever. I liked the fight, I liked the interaction with the arena, I just wish there was more. Second fight, what was the second fight again? Oh yeah, the horse was great. That was a great fight. Not hard to figure out once you've seen it once. Or twice, I guess. But you go where the third line goes, and then you move from there. Like, it's simple. And that boss here, it's hectic, but also not interesting. Like, I don't know. It's very, very repetitive. All three bosses have very few moves and repeats a lot, which makes me go, huh? What this dungeon? Like, if you go with the previous one, each boss was had way more moves, and it feels like there was something always happening. Of course, there was some kind of repetition by the end. That's normal, but the fights felt fresh for a much longer time than here. So while the bosses themselves are chaotic, they're very repetitive, and I'm not a huge fan. So I think this dungeon is very meh. Very meh. Meh. Like, I'd have to check, but I think it might be one of the worst cap dungeon for this expansion.
And the perimeter is clear. Good work, everyone. And a big thank you to our helpers, whoever you are. Now, we have a tiny bit of clearing up ahead of us. You know what to do.
Our helpers? Were we being watched?
So, the city endures. And it is in much better shape than expected.
Impressive, considering the destruction without. The people here must have gone to great lengths to maintain all of this.
Their barrier resembles that of Alexandria, though it is smaller in scale. And not quite as effective, if the breach we witnessed is any indication. I fear such incidents may be common here.
Thunderous heavens! It's been years since we've had visitors.
No! It's a lot of hells! Burn them! Is that Krau's grandma? That wouldn't make sense.
I am Miaili, the mayor of Treno. Allow me to welcome you to our city. And thank you for the assistance with our little monster problem just now. Might I ask your name, miss? Though I have an inkling I know it already.
Quid Eternal! I mean Sphene.
But of course, I am Sphene of Alexandria.
As I thought. It truly beggars belief. I once heard the strangest of reports from one of ours who went to Alexandria, you see. That despite the intervening years, the Queen had not aged a day. And sure enough, I'd swear you'd stepped out of an old oil portrait mere moments ago. Though you must forgive me if this takes some getting used to. It is an honor to meet you, Your Majesty. I look forward to hearing the tale from your own lips. I imagine it won't be an easy one to tell. But please, what happened to Alexandria?
I see. From your perspective, it must have looked as though we were wiped from the face of the star.
One day, we lost all contact with our people in Alexandria. Scouting party sent to investigate reported that not only the barrier, but Alexandria itself was gone. Nary a stone to mark where it has stood.
That's when Alexandria was moved to the source.
What you must have gone through, not knowing what became of us.
In their first attempt at assimilating the source.
But know that Alexandria yet survives, albeit in a distant land. Her and her people. I can tell you the whole tale from beginning to end, but first, might I ask your permission to remain in Treno for a time?
Of course you can. You and your companions have already done us a great service, and are more than welcome to enjoy our hospitality. Now, how about we continue this at Town Hall? We needn't keep standing in the middle of the street.
I shall join them. Even with the precautions we've taken, it remains to be seen if Sven's condition will remain stable. I suspect, however, that the rest of you would rather be out and about. Consider this my blessing.
I'm not sure
In
I'm
light of
following.
our purpose here, the tour of the city is indeed in order.
I'm not sure I'm following why
I
she's saying
presume
that.
you have no objection?
Like, I understand it's probably a shot that there are people
With your
online.
permission, then. But before we go, allow me to introduce myself as well. I am Cryle, and I hope to learn more of this city and its people. Would it offend if we were to ask a few questions? Perhaps as we work alongside you, aiding you in whatever ways you may require.
You needn't fret. Treno folk are as friendly as they come. As for aid, if you're willing, you might speak with my grandson Lummel.
Lummel.
That was his voice you heard earlier. You'll find him serving herbal remedies to the others.
Thank you for your guidance. We shall seek him out.
Okay. Alright. I'm just gonna go fill my bottle of water. And I'll be right back. Should be just a few minutes. It is Treno's song. A bit on the slower side though. Because it's very upbeat in the FF9. Just looking around. Is there the auction house? Because this here looks like the area where you would be where the auction house is. Or was it the triple triad tournament? No, the triple triad Tetramaster. This fucking card game. If you enjoy Tetramaster, nothing against you, but I think you're a psychopath. I'm saying that as a joke, by the way. Don't take it personal. I just think that game makes no fucking sense whatsoever. Although I haven't played in years. I mean, Final Fantasy IX in general, so maybe I would play it and enjoy it. But I have my doubts because it's very RNG based and I fucking hate it. Anyway, why if it isn't a new friends? Thanks again for making short work of our foes. If you've gone to the trouble of seeking me out, they can only assume it's for good reason. Oh, that's Lumo. I think we saw him in the trailer. You want to help me? Odd, but I'll consider it. Before anything else, though, must insist you drink our signature remedy, Sleepless Rhapsody. Everyone's a fan. You may find it the teensiest touch too sour for your taste, but I'll set you all. Alright, just tip it down your throat. And we're dead. We got poisoned to death. That'd be kind of funny.
Well, what do you think? It's a traditional Malala recipe. No need to pretend. I'm not that thin-skinned. Just do your best to keep it down.
I'm put in mind of the gelatin I had at the studio. Nutritious, they assured me.
I can relate all too well. It's not unlike the syrup leader used to make. Black as pitch and sour as sin. Though, there's no better cure for fatigue.
100%.
You know, Raha, going to bed at a reasonable hour would be the best cure. Oh, that's... I do feel shockingly refreshed.
Perhaps it stimulates the body's ability to process ether and hastens regenerative functions.
Indeed, it does. It also counteracts some of the effects of excess lightning, and helps to calm the nerves besides.
Which is why you serve it whenever there's a breach in the barrier.
Our Malala ancestors came from the lushest of lands, so they developed all sorts of natural remedies. We strive to carry on their traditions. And I'm sure you see why. Really hits the spot, doesn't it? Now, welcome to Treno.
Now I'm wondering because I thought Doom Train would be in the Heritage Found. Now it's going to be there for sure in on the Mist continent. I'm still of the opinion that it's going to be a primal, like a summoning. But like, why would there be a summoning on the 9th? Unless it was already there prior to us being there, that's very possible. Like it's been there for a century or something. I forgot to introduce myself, didn't I? Well, I'm Lemul. It was me announcing our victory earlier, and since Grandmother sent you to help me with repairs, you'll know I'm her grandson. I'm in charge of resolving any problems the people of Treno may have. My favorite kinds of work include taste testing menu items, carrying medium-sized objects, searching for lost possessions of immense value. Oh, and it's a pleasure to make your acquaintance. They all suck, so... Around the city. I'll try to speed this up a bit. Ah yes, the repairs. Are you certain you want to be put to work? If you come all the way out to visit us, you must have had more important things in mind, and you've already helped protect the city. Actually, our goal was to ascertain the present state of the Mist Continent. The whole continent? You come from across the sea? Not exactly. We've actually come from Alexandria. Alexandria? Are you quite sure? No, sorry, of course you're sure. It would be rude of me to doubt you. Just, it's not every day that we get visitors, let alone from a nation that up and vanish. I know that it must come as something of a shock, but this is our first time in Treno. We'd like to get to know the city and its people. That is why we propose lending a hand to those in need. I see, in that case, why don't you help distribute this remedy to the rest of our people? Ordinarily, everyone would have already come for a cup, but the fiends made quite a mess this time. Maybe a while before some can step away from their work. Never fear though, even if their hands are busy, they'll be more than happy to spare a few words for fastidic folks from afar. We would appreciate that, thank you. You're the ones doing me a favor, and honestly, here, take this batch. I'll deliver some to Town Hall so you can attend to areas you haven't seen yet. Jeez. If we split up, we can spend more time speaking with the locals while ensuring everyone receives their remedy promptly. Could you each take a portion? I too should be glad to dole out a few servings. Wonderful, let me divide this up. Imali, why don't you make rounds of the southern part of the city? Raha and I shall tend to the north. Right, let's go and acquire some insights. You must be one of those visitors Lumo mentioned. Odd place to be visiting, though. Ah, you came to deliver the remedy. Thank you kindly. I was holding beast carcasses in for processing and cupped a good dose of discharging energy for my troubles. I worked on the living sickness, something fierce. Still, we don't go hunting outside the barrier, so we don't want to waste any part of the creatures that find their way in. Pelts that are highly charged with lightning ether are the most valuable, of course. Tend them with the right stuff and you can turn them into protective clothing that keeps you from getting zapped. The beasts you felled will all be put to good use. Thanks again. Good. You had mighty monster slayer I saw earlier. It's an honor. And you've brought Sleepless Rhapsody. Bless you. I'm dead on my feet after that battle. We don't usually have that many beasts breaking through at once. Practice keeps one's skills sharp though, so in a way I'm glad for it, and I learned a thing or two from watching you. Oh, I can hardly wait to get to work on my grimoire. I have a number of ideas for improved geometries. The thoughtful application of new learning is what keeps our ancestors' magic alive and flourishing. There's a fresh face if ever I saw one. What's that in your hand? Oh, don't mind if I do. Safety inspection take priority, but the battle doesn't feel over until I've had a cup of Sleepless Rhapsody. I'm proud to say that I have some small part in preparing it too. The herbs come from my very own brewery. One of the greatest discoveries of our time is that seeds carried in by invading creatures can be cultivated into remarkable plants. plants with the potential to mitigate the lightning's effect. And with as many hides as we have this time, not to mention stomachs, it's entirely possible we'll find new varieties of herbs among the harvest. Okay. You guys are a bit creepy with your stomachs. But you gotta do what you gotta do with the limited resource you have, so makes sense. Between the three of us, we ought to have covered every area aside from Lumos. One of the people I spoke with asked me to pass something along to him, but he hasn't returned yet. In the meantime, shall we discuss what we've learned?
Fascinating. I appreciate your thoroughness in recounting the details. I too learned much, as I helped to treat the injured's wounds. The Malala's curative magics appear identical to Spheen's. This means that either her tutor was a Malala as well, or that the art had spread all throughout the Ninth. Then there are the symbols and tomes, which are highly reminiscent of Arcanima. If these elements indeed originated with the arcane geometries of the South Sea Isles, as in the source, 'tis curious that they have developed in so similar a manner on this shard.
Mind you don't share that with any other graduates of the Faculty of the Arcane, lest they beat you to publication.
Did you learn aught of note, Raha?
I spoke with one of Treno's storekeepers about how they obtain their supplies. Though they are few and far between, other settlements yet exist on the Mist Continent, with a rail system facilitating the flow of goods between them. Unfortunately, barrier breaches trigger an emergency failsafe on the main line, so the train is presently stopped at a midway point until operations can resume. There are also maritime routes, but they see only occasional use. Often, as now, Treno must make do with what is to hand.
In addition to this constant state of scarcity, much of Treno's populace suffers from Levin sickness, not to mention the frequent attacks on the city and the resulting casualties. Yet everyone we've spoken with seems undaunted by these hardships. They are not only surviving, they are happy, in spite of it all.
Where there is life, there is hope. And when one believes in a better future, a tomorrow even the slightest bit brighter than today, there is naught to be done but build it. Until, stone by stone, a city rises.
A noble city with noble purpose.
Is aught the matter, Lowell?
I think I've dropped something and now I can't find it anywhere. I'm doomed.
Oh, is it this by chance? While I was distributing the remedy, I was asked to pass it along to you.
Yes! That's it! Yes! I'm not doomed.
Is that a tracking device?
You've a keen eye for technology. This thing picks up on the ether of the creatures that get through the barrier.
That explains how you knew when they'd been vanquished.
Exactly. It shouldn't show anything now, but I can switch it on like so.
I'm assuming his grandma.
Say, how'd you like to meet my sister Ayane? She's an electrope engineer, so she knows all sorts of interesting stuff.
Or his sister.
I take it she also built that device.
Oh yes, that's my sister. She's a genius. Everyone says so. And she won't kill me in front of other people. Probably. I mean, wouldn't it be interesting to watch her work? Maybe you can even help. It'd be, you know, edifying? Please! I beg you! Please!
I suppose that's that then.
To work. At the moment, Ayane should be waiting just past that part. Let's be off before anyone changes their mind.
Our visitors. Thanks for lending a hand earlier, but what brings you here? Lummel, what did you do?
You know that, advanced monster tracking, what's it? It may be a teeny tiny bit...
You broke it again? How many times must I tell you that we're running low on electrope? I'm an engineer, not a bloody miracle worker!
I beg your forgiveness! I'm on my knees and everything, see?
Did he need to do a flip to get on his knees?
And since we have guests, can't you let it slide? Just this once?
No. Mikafini, nope, and kicks his ass.
He dragged you here just so I wouldn't tan his hide, didn't he? You'd never believe he's the elder sibling. I'm so sorry.
Please, don't be. We're glad for the opportunity to meet you. And Lummel mentioned that you might have some work we could assist with.
There are guests, Lummel, not servants. Must we have the manners talk again?
Please don't misunderstand. We asked to help, that we might learn what life is like in Treno. And with your expertise, we also hoped you could tell us more of how the city utilizes electrope.
If that's the way of it, then I'd be happy to share what I know.
When you spoke earlier, it sounded as if Treno had little electrope to spare. It's difficult to procure, I take it.
We never have as much as we need. And much of what we do have is repurposed. Well, you'll find me digging through the scrap heap whenever some vital device or another breaks down. Repairing that old barrier should be our highest priority. But we just don't have enough electrope on hand to do a proper job.
And the longer we go without access to the mine, the worse it'll get. If only we could scare those beasts away.
The mines.
Did we not pass through a mine on the way here?
the one! Incredible!
So, the mine is safe for mining again? Hooray!
Leave the mining to your big brother. All you have to do is fix the tracker.
Yes, very well. If you go, do be careful. And once you get the machinery up and running, make sure to send some electrobe over to the barrier service station.
Though we've cleared the mine, there is no telling what else waits outside the barrier. Shall I accompany you?
I'm so glad you asked. Seriously, I don't know what I'd do if I'd had to go alone.
As we did pass through but recently, I expect Raha can keep him safe without our help. In the meantime, shall we assist Ayane with her repair work?
I actually forgot to ask your names, do forgive me. I'm Kral and this is Amali. Accompanying Lumul is Grahatia, our own technology enthusiast. It's lovely to meet you. It feels strange putting you to work, but I'd be lying if I said I don't need the help. In the wake of an event like this, I presume a great deal of labor is required to restore everything to working order. The volume of fixes that need making is one matter, but I could handle it if it weren't for those legs of mine. The paralysis flares up at the worst times, I swear. Even sickness. I can manage a bit of shuffling from one station to the other on a good day, but I usually leave racing around the city to my brother. With him off the mine though, someone else needs to take care of the lightning sprites. They're drawn to the discharge eater of sink creatures. I'd offer you the detector to make tracking them down easier, but seeing as no one's managed to break it yet again. I do have this though. Toss some at a sprite and you can suppress its ability to sense ether nearby. It really gets them wandering out of the city towards more fertile ground. So we didn't fight them? We find it safer not to. When threatened, they'll siphon energy from facilities. We need to keep our medical services running or emit bursts that overload nearby systems. For the same reason, I recommend you stick to thoroughfares that will allow you to spot them well in advance. I would hate for you to be injured while helping us. Understood. We'll want to split up again to cover more ground. Are you ready to go? You're back. Were there many sprites? Just a handful on your route then? Could be worse. Still, it's important to keep the city free of them. We're much obliged. In our heart. Carl is taking a while. Being new to the city, if something were to happen, she wouldn't know where to go for help. Will you check on her? She started off in the direction of Town Hall. You're getting a mind lost there, lass. Out I can help with? Milala, I've seen quite a few of them today, but if she's a friend of yours. Presume you mean Kral. Had a great old chat with her earlier. Not to mention she saved my hide. Can't believe I missed that lightning sprite till it was right on top of me. Thanks to her that I got out unscathed. A bit awkward striking up conversation after that. It'd been a while since I talked to anyone I haven't known my whole life. She's a kind lass, good at putting folks at ease, like Mieli. Quite enjoyed telling her about the city. When we were done chatting, she went off towards the canal. Had a touch of melancholy about her, though, and I wasn't sure why. Didn't think it was something I said, but I knew that if it was any more, it wouldn't help, so I let her go. I reckon she'd welcome the company of a good friend right now. I'm gonna be right back. I'm gonna make some something to drink, like something to wake me up a bit. Alright, sorry about that.
Ah, were you looking for me? I only intended to sit down for a moment, but I must have lost track of time. Will you lend me your ear?
There you go.
The source and the ninth. Someday I will have to decide which one to call home. The thought has lingered like a storm cloud in my mind. I've tried to ignore it. Remind myself that we have more important matters to contend with. But I cannot keep drifting between these worlds forever. When I first learned the truth of my past, I assumed it would have no bearing on my future. The Source was my home, and the students of Baldessian my purpose. But after meeting my parents, it struck me that to simply choose the Source would be to abandon them. And not only them, but a home I could have loved, had my life gone as it should have. That is why I had to learn more of this place. And the me I could have been. I feel even less certain than before. Though we are strangers to them, these people have welcomed us as if we are their own. It's like speaking with old friends, and knowing now the challenges they face. What would it say about me if I just left them behind and returned to the Source? Is that who I am? Who I was meant to be? Or is this where I belong?
Thank you for listening. I'm a little less afraid to face the answer now, whatever it may be. And when I find it, I hope you'll be there. But we've kept Ayane waiting long enough. Let's hurry back. I'm glad you're both back safe and sound. Now we can relax and see my brother does the same. But your friend is courting him, he can't get himself into too much trouble until he tumbles down the stairs into town again, I suppose.
That reminds me. The structures near the barrier all seem to be designed for Milala. Is there a reason that those in the center of the city are so much larger?
Oh yes. The center is the oldest part of Treno, built by the Hewn and the Eldite before the Milala came.
So Treno predates the Milala's arrival?
The mayor at the time was kind enough to take our ancestors in, and gave them leave to establish their own residential quarter.
Yet I've seen naught but Milala since we came to the city. Where did the other peoples go?
Alexandria. In the closing days of the Storm Surge, when death and destruction were everywhere, Well, they believed it would be safer. Treno didn't have a barrier at first, you see. But one of our industrious brethren had served as tutor in the royal household and returned to us with knowledge of the barrier's design. It's thanks to him that the city survives to this day.
Might I ask a more personal question? We previously uncovered some records pertaining to the Milala's past. In them, it was written that the Milala left their paradise of eternal summer when a great calamity froze their isles. Understandably, all were not content to leave their homeland behind. Some attempted to return using the same power that had brought them here, but they found the way closed to them. Never again has the golden path opened that allowed their ancestors to flee to safety. Tell me, were that golden path to open once more, and you were to find the Milala homeland restored to its former glory, would you go back?
I'd certainly like to see that paradise of eternal summer for myself. Who wouldn't? But it wouldn't be going back. After all, my one and only home is here. Treno, this run-down, beat-up, beautiful city.
You truly love it, don't you?
Do you know what the speaker said when the Milala came to this place? O life, flourish on this faraway shore. Unfurl your fragile petals with fearless joy. Let this sky grant shelter from darkest storm, and here bloom, hand in hand, forevermore. We never forgot those words. Not my ancestors, nor my grandmother, nor my brother and me. That boundless optimism, that communal spirit, that is Treno. No matter what comes or how hard it gets, we'll choose joy over fear and stand together. There's nowhere else I'd rather be.
Nowhere else you'd rather be. Perhaps it really is as simple as listening to your heart.
Toward trouble. Earlier you said that your brother couldn't get into too much trouble if he was with Ra, but how much trouble is that precisely? One would think they ought to have returned by now. Conversely, I unexpected to see the two of you again so soon. I take it Mayali's curiosity is sated. For the moment, I gave her a brief account of the situation in Alexandria as well as events involving the key. She was most interested in the latter. In fact, it seems she knew of the relic long before we did, and wishes to discuss it with everyone. Would you be able to join us? Interesting. Should love to go straight away, but we are awaiting Ra's return. As we speak, Mayali's herself is making her rounds throughout the city. We have time. Alright, time to go fetch Ra. Or just wait, I guess.
We're back! The mine is in working order, I'm pleased to say. Electrope is being delivered for the barrier even as we speak.
Have you two finished regaling the mayor?
We have. Though she has her own story to tell. Of the key, in fact. We thought you might like to join us at the...
This is an evacuation alert. All citizens, please proceed to emergency shelter. Repeat, please proceed to emergency shelter. The Doom train is approaching. Repeat, please proceed to emergency shelter.
The Doom train is approaching. So, okay, so that thing was not summoned, it was already there. Although it may have been summoned like hundreds of years ago.
The Doom train? Wasn't that one of Lindblom's weapons of war?
Lindblom's weapon of war. It is not a summon. Interesting.
You know of it. I've never seen it myself, but according to Zelenia, it was an armored vehicle used to transport war beasts to the front. In order to prevent them from running wild ere their deployment, a powerful arcane entity was housed in the engine.
The end of the war didn't slow it one bit. Quite the contrary. Fueled by lightning ether, it's been speeding across the continent ever since. The Doom train and its beasts bring death and destruction everywhere it goes. It's a veritable calamity on rails. It passed near Treno some years ago, claiming many lives, including our parents. I must go and repair the barrier as swiftly as possible. Without it, we haven't got a chance.
You can't be serious! You'll never finish in time, and you'll be right in its path.
I have to try. For Treno.
Yane, no!
It seems my services are required once more.
I'll go with you. Perhaps my knowledge of Electrope will be of use.
I wish I were a fighter like you two. Keep her safe, will you? Please?
While destroying the Doom train would be preferable, we should seek to delay its advance at the very least.
You can't be thinking of fighting it head-on. That's madness! If your mind is made up, there may be a way. There's a freight depot not far from us. We can use the train that's stopped there.
Raha mentioned that before, did he not?
The Doom train will have to pass through the depot to reach Treno. And since the evacuation alert was only just triggered, we might be able to reach it first.
So we commandeer this freight train, match our speed to the enemy's, and use it as a platform from which we launch a sustained counter-offensive. Is that your proposal?
It'd be better than trying to smash the bloody thing before it runs us all out. And if it might save a Yane, I'll do whatever it takes. Let me drive the train. That will leave you free to concentrate on the fight.
Lumul.
I need to grab a few things. Meet me by the gate.
If anyone can stop a speeding weapon of war, it is Imali, but we must also recognize the threat posed by its company of beasts. If its influence is so powerful that even as it barrels ahead and troll creatures continue to follow it, then the train may well gather additional minions as it draws near. There's no telling how many will charge Treno's gates, so we should prepare for the worst. Perhaps Ishtola and I ought to remain on guard here. I'm inclined to agree. Imali, while you remove the head of this metal serpent, we'll attend to the defense of the city. Among other things, we must do what we can to ensure the citizens get to shelter before the fighting begins. Godspeed. Alexandria Crater. Is that where we started? Right, the place we're headed is the Bentini Depot. Although Treno is its own railway station, assailants from earlier left it in need of significant repair. Thus we'll be taking a hover cargo. My friend here has volunteered for the mission, and yes, I did explain the dangers. The cargo is equipped with a portable barrier, and frankly, I'm great at mage up. Guarantee our safety during the ride. What happens once we get to Bentini, well, that's your problem. It certainly is. Let me know when you're ready to move out. Where we call home. Ready, then a fearless operator will help you aboard. You make for Bentini with all haste. I'll have us there in a flash. Do keep any limbs you're attached to and would like to remain attached to inside the vehicle.
This is it. You'll be riding that flat car at the rear of the train. I'll be all the way at the front, pushing her as fast as she can go. The Doom train moves at breakneck speed. If we're too slow, it'll plow right through us. Speaking of which, we'd best get underway before it does just that. Don't forget you're fighting for Ayane. For all of Treno.
Hell on the rails. Hell yeah. I queued as a healer and I'm still not in. Like, what? What the hell's going on? Oh, there you go. Alright, let's see this. I did see the extreme fight. I just want to say I saw a video of it. But I did not see normal.
Here it comes! Brace for impact! We're in it now! I'm counting on you!
Okay. That's gonna suck us in. I saw that from the extreme, so I knew. Oh, this is extreme. Oh.
Ah! The flicker! Turret! Good luck!
To the side behind, I guess. Now the other one's gonna shoot. Oh, with a knockback, I guess.
Not again! Go right back there! Use the transport panels to get up there! How many times is he going to do that?
Oh, okay. Yeah, face. Wait, what? Oh. That's actually really cool. That's cool.
What's in there? You're still on board, right?
Here comes the arms. Oh shit, that hurts. Okay, there's some at the top. Okay, we want to be down. Okay, we're at the right place. Next one is the top, I guess. I am going here. What is that tank doing? What the fuck? That was fun. Lots of, not a lot of mechanics, but the arena changes, so the way you interact with them changes very easily. So that was fun. That was fun. Sorry about the murderous thing. Yeah, I'm more sorry about the black mage who stood in shit and never moved. Like right at the beginning of the fight. Oh, tank buster! I'm gonna stay there and die. Okay. Whatever. Fun fight though. Probably the best normal trial in this expansion. I like Valgarmanda. I couldn't care for Zeralcha. Queen Eternal was fun. I did enjoy Queen Eternal aside from the last bit. I couldn't care. Zelenia was good too in normal. Necron, I really like Necron too. But I think this one is the best, yeah.
No more adventures, thank you. That was enough bravery for a lifetime. But we did it! We stopped the Doom Train. Well, mostly you did.
Remains to see.
Before we can celebrate, though, we need to make sure Treno's secure.
Just remains to see the extreme. I did watch a video, like I said, and I think it's gonna be kind of boring. But we'll see. Maybe playing it will make it feel better. Remains to be seen, but I don't think it's gonna be my favorite extreme. Dragon Ball!
Feared, stray beasts to the south. I've lost track of how many times I've asked you for help, but I need your help again.
I have to believe that the ANA will be safe with the comrades while we attend to matters elsewhere. I see the wounded. You try not to join them, alright? Your progress through the battle will be safe at certain points. Alright, it's gonna take a while, dude. A short time earlier? Okay. I guess I was during our time with the Doom Train.
No!
By the power of paintings, you shall die!
Can you stand?
Yeah, yes! Thank you so much. There were others being attacked over by the canal. Could you possibly...
Of course, I'll go right away. The rest of you should get to the town hall.
Are you playing as Cryo?
I can't leave anyone behind. I won't.
I think we're playing as Cryo. Okay, that's cool.
Best make sure the evacuation route is clear first.
Alright, let's see. Deal magic damage 3 times in succession to all nearby enemies. Potential of attack increase with first attack 490, 63, and 740. Cast the following spell succession 200 to 400 to what? But why would I use that combo? Cat. Is it an AoE? Okay, it is an AoE, that's all.
Done. Now to aid those people by the canal. Help is on the way!
Alright, that's kind of cool. Wow, an incredible magic. Scared me?
There may be other stragglers.
I was so scared. I couldn't even move. Silly, isn't it? My wife and I will be making for Town Hall straight away. You have my word on that. If you're determined to check on everyone, I won't complain, but do be careful.
That breeze is awfully warm. Oh no!
Our home!
First things first, the fire. To take a leaf out of Y'shtola's book.
Oh. What sort of magic was that? I've never seen the like. Priorities, yes, I'm going to run away. We can talk about it later. Was you that put out the fire? How could I ever thank you? Now that we know it won't be spreading any further, we can all take shelter
Not a
until this is
moment too
over.
soon. I hope that was the worst of it.
Somebody help!
No!
A voice. Further out. I'll take care of this. Make for shelter. How many are there?
Finally, Carl is getting her moment to shine.
Is that all of them?
Oh, hello, Mr. Behemoth.
A behemoth!
Fried.
Oh!
We cut that rather close.
Thank goodness you're all right.
Ayane has finished the repairs. We need only hold the line until the barrier is in place.
And hold the line we will, together. I can still fight. I can. away from the clouds! Try never see another storm.
Nowhere safe with so many of them. Some friendly winds, maybe please.
It worked. It took like 500 years for them to attack. Like, what the fuck?
The Levin grows more volatile. Something is coming!
Ball lightning! Ishtola, Steen, lend me your strength!
Two of us will disperse these balls of lightning!
Just keep the lightning at bay a little longer! Take cover behind the springers! The tide is turning! Press the attack!
That was kind of fun. Not very difficult, but whatever. Boom.
I must say, that was an incredible performance.
Flatterer. What is it?
The barrier is restored. The people of Treno may rest easy once more.
The perimeter is clear, everyone. And thanks to our guests, the Doom Train has been destroyed. Last but not least, Ayane's fixed the barrier. We don't need to worry about beasts anymore. This calls for a celebration.
The Doom Train is gone for good.
That's our Ayane.
They're safe. All of them.
Oh yeah, we're supposed to talk to her about the key. Wait, wasn't that Kryle's mom? Is that her grandma?
Alila? Kryle, does the name Alila mean aught to you?
My mother. Did you know her?
I'm sorry, my dear. We should get you patched up before aught else. Alila's story and that of the key are one and the same. After you've rested and recovered, I'll tell you the tale. You have no cause to fret, I promise you. While Lummel forgot to give the order, bless him, there's work to be done ere we can celebrate. First and foremost, we must see to any injured. Come and find me at Town Hall when you're ready.
Without further delay, then.
I am confused.
You needn't mind me. My injuries are far from severe.
But your curiosity is another matter, is it not? Your feet will deliver you to Miaili all the swifter if you can actually walk on them.
I am confused. Maybe with the story it'll make more sense, but Alila is Kryle's mom, that's fine. She definitely saw Alila in Kryle, which means she met Alila. The thing is that the time in the Nines passed way faster than on the source. As we have learned in the main Downshore MSQ, because there was Wuklomat's mother figure, I forgot her name, like her handmaiden or whatever. She got trapped there. They managed to get to the dome like 1 or 2 days after, and she was like 30 years older. So, yeah, the time goes by much faster on the 9th than it does on the source. Meaning there's like a couple of 100 years probably between Kryle being delivered on the source as a baby to now, which is probably like 20 years apart on the source. So And I think it stands to reason there's probably like a couple 100 years of difference between both. So, I don't know. I guess there's something either there's something I'm missing that was already explained, or or there's a gap in logic somewhere, or it will be explained. I don't know. Well, I would rather not have tumbled the pavement in front of half the city. I'm none the worse for wear, thanks to each other. But what of yourself? You have any urge to get them to them now before we see melee? Alright, that's the last quest. Because, like, Queen Sphene was put in a stasis for hundreds of years. We know that. Yeah, I guess I have something I'm not understanding. Curious, isn't it? I want to know more than anything, and part of me is still terrified. But having come so far, I can't turn from the truth now. If everyone is feeling up to it, blah blah blah. I skip without reading.
I begin my tale, there is something about our family that you need to understand.
We are immortal.
We are descendants of the Speakers of Eld. And I myself am the latest to inherit the role. But even as we do our utmost to ensure our people's welfare in our adopted home, it has ever been our duty to find a means to return whence we came. Alas, our ancestral treasure never did answer our prayers. And that left my elder sister, the previous speaker, mired in doubt. It was then, when she was at her most vulnerable, that preservation reached out to her.
The key is none other than that relic, and it has been in the safekeeping of our people since time immemorial.
Yes. When lightning threatened this world, we attempted to use the key to flee again, like our ancestors once did. Alas, no matter what we tried, we couldn't invoke its power. We had all but given up when Preservation approached us with an offer of partnership.
We've heard this part before, from my parents' memories. My mother was your sister.
She was. Which makes you an heir to the Speaker's legacy. The last message I received from your parents said that in order to thwart Preservation's design, they must send away both their daughter and the key. I now understand what became of the former. As for the latter, through conversing with your friends, I gleaned with whom it currently resides.
And is it your wish that we give it back?
We Milala are the people of Treno now. Here is where we've put down our roots. The moment Elila relinquished the key, she relinquished our claim to it as well. But be that as it may, my sister gave up not only her life, but her darling daughter, to prevent its misuse. it is my duty to ensure that its new bearer is worthy. So, should it answer your call as it never did ours, how would you use the key's power?
To conquer the universe.
For some, that might be a self-serving end. But your deeds are proof that I needn't worry. And what's more, there's your friendship with my niece. I dare say that speaks well of your character.
By the by, do you have any records pertaining to the key here in Treno?
Would that we did. But Delilah took everything with her when she joined Preservation. If aught remains, it would be in Alexandria.
And so we find ourselves returned to our original course.
Shale may have made some progress. Perhaps it's time to bring our visit to an end. But by that, I don't mean to say that I don't feel welcome in Treno. You've all been so kind and accommodating. And in many ways, it's my hometown. It's just that, well...
It's all right, my dear. It is true that some feel bound by blood or birthplace, but I don't believe that your parents would have wanted that for you. They devoted their lives to understanding the key so that future generations would not be burdened by it. As we have chosen Treno, so too should you choose the place you call home. A place where you can bloom and grow with fearless joy.
I will.
We must give you a proper send-off, though. Wait for us by the gate, will you? A word of caution, Keeper of the Key.
I have a name. Oh, I like that music.
As you know, it is a relic that has traveled across centuries and worlds, passing through countless hands, oft beckoning to those ruled by ambition or avarice. Indeed, some have wondered if it chooses its master. But I believe differently. I believe that some inexorable force, call it fate, if you will, ushers it from one bearer to the next.
Is this like the One Ring?
Be wary, for fate's regard now falls upon you.
Huh? That is not a Lalafell. And she was clearly spying on us. Or Milana, whatever. Who is she? I have to go all the way, come on. But yeah, okay, that doesn't explain my concern of the time passage. Like, that's her sister and all that, okay, that's fine, and a couple years passed, but... I'm guessing someone already asked that question somewhere and someone will have given an answer. I'll have to dig around because yeah, that point feels wrong right now.
Thank you all for everything.
We're the ones who should be thanking you. You fought so many times for us.
I've tended to the people's immediate hurts, but see that they receive appropriate care as they recover.
I still can't believe you took down the Doom Train. Just like that. You're my hero, truly. And I'm sure Mum and Dad and everyone else we lost will rest easier now that it can never hurt anyone again.
For my part, I cannot thank you enough for supporting my plan for the barrier. Not to mention that we wouldn't even have the Electrope to restore it without your aid. I can't wait to see what else we can do now that the mine is back in service. Kryl. O life, flourish on this faraway shore. Unfurl your fragile petals with fearless joy. Let this sky grant shelter from darkest storm, and here bloom, hand in hand, forevermore.
Random poem.
Remember that, will you? Whatever shore you choose.
Of course. Those words, and our people, will always be in my heart.
After so long without her, I had begun to forget what my sister was like. Her face, her voice, fading like the mist. All I could remember clearly was her resolve as we parted for the last time. But now I've seen her again. In you, sweetheart. For bringing her back to me. It is a joy to have met you, Kryl.
You too, Aunt Miaili.
I know your home lies far from here, but to us you'll always be family. Come and see us once in a while, won't you?
I will. My comrades have found a treatment for Levin's sickness, so I'll bring it to Treno as soon as I can.
My, you certainly have no shortage of accomplished friends. We'll await your return, my dear.
Bye.
Life is full of surprises when one lives in hope. Isn't that right, Delilah?
still feels a bit like I'm dreaming, but even should I wake, I'll remember it. I'll remember them. On a practical note, I am more certain than ever that Shell's work will yield vital insights to the key. I look forward to speaking with her when we arrive in Solution 9. If you don't mind, might we first make our way to Resolution? Golson will be wondering about my absence. Evans, yes, I apologize for keeping you from your duties for so long. Think nothing of it. I was more than happy to be a part of your adventure, and Golson will forgive me once I tell him of Treno. Ah, this explains much. I wonder why I had seen neither hide nor hair of your majesty these past days. May I ask where you have been? It's quite a long story. However stalwart your companions, traversing the mid-continent with no knowledge of what awaited was extraordinarily reckless. That cannot deny, but it availed as much. We have the opportunity to resume diplomatic relations with a long-time ally. And as I did not, in fact, come to harm, all is well that ends well. Should you feel compelled to go on any other excursion in the future, I expect that you will notify me beforehand. Yes, of course, it's all remiss of me. I apologize. Duty's call is most insistent. Nevertheless, whenever you require my aid, please do not hesitate to ask it, to seek it. Same thing. Ah, Shell. You're back. How did it go? You find a way down? Treno, I've heard the name. Incredible that it's sheltered the Milala all this time. What's more, the mayor was able to share the story of the key from her perspective. She believed that the historical documents pertaining to it are stored in Preservation's archives. They could be... oh, fuck. In that case, allow me to accompany you. Though it may be incomplete, I should like to review the information available. The way she was talking, I think they still haven't finished the work. We'll contact you as soon as we've made some sense of it. In the meantime, I suggest that the Warrior of Light gets a good night's sleep or two. You never know what manner of hellish technology will be after us next. In Kral, I assume you'll be wanting to familiarize yourself with the care and feeding of Porxies. Indeed, while I'm aware of the principles, I was needed elsewhere when the others were treating the living afflicted. I shall have to ask Ishtola to instruct me. It's the least I can do for my family. I intend to visit them whenever possible, but my home will always be here in the source. There's nowhere I'd rather be. Earlier in Treno. Okay, earlier. I'm guessing we're gonna see the girl. Or not.
Now, there is much to be done. With access to the mine restored, I'd like to explore methods to expand our food production systems. I look forward to your insights.
Do they want to celebrate first? Ah, there she is. Why are you running?
Oh, my poor heart. I only meant to steal a glimpse while we were in the area. But our eyes definitely met, didn't they? Oh, that's not ideal. Such fearsome instincts to perceive me as a threat in an instant. But I shouldn't be surprised. It's the Source's vaunted hero, after all.
Halmarut!
Oh, dear me! Oh.
I had a feeling it was alive.
One need hardly be the warrior of light to notice you. You're far from subtle. As if the horns and scales weren't enough, you insist upon dressing for another century. Those clothes must be as old as I am.
Before I continue, I already have a suspicion. She's from the future. As soon as she said, like, she saw me, so that's no good, I was like, I think she's from the future.
Where is your robe?
You mean the robe that practically announces me as an Ascian?
Oh.
Not that I don't intend to reveal that detail, but it will be at a time of my choosing. Besides, if one of us can't help but draw the eye, it's you. Oh, Calyx, how you've grown. Smaller, that is. And surprisingly cute-ish.
Put me down.
Jests aside, we will be departing the 9th all too soon.
I was thinking it gave me Calyx vibes, but I didn't think it would actually be Calyx.
If you wish to say your goodbyes, I could find you a vessel and mold it to match your preferred presentation.
Don't you dare. I will not debase myself by occupying a living body ever again. And in any case, to travel the rift as you do requires the shedding of one's flesh, does it not?
I apologize if I upset you. Your understanding is, in essence, correct. The magics cannot bring a vessel through the rift. Ergo, you must discard it and assume a form of pure ether until you reach the other side. However, that doesn't mean you need discard everything like so much refuse. Using fissures such as this, one can easily send small amounts of matter between reflections. Matter such as your archived memories.
All the more reason to remain as I am. At present, I could pass through a fissure myself. And as this form suffices for surveying the material realm, I see no reason to expend effort searching for a replacement. I wish only to observe. That is enough.
Okay, maybe
Very
she's
well.
not,
I shan't press.
maybe she's not from the future, but
Nevertheless, odd though you may look, I would encourage you to bid farewell to those to whom you have attachment. For now that you failed, unless our hero changes course, This world is doomed to die.
Oh.
I had hoped to banish death from their lives. Why should it come to all, whether they will it or no? Why must any accept this burden and grief? It was never about any one person. So no, there are none with whom I would exchange fond farewells. But so long as mankind yet survives, I can hold fast to my faith. That my life's work might again bring someone's salvation.
Hold fast you must, as we press ever onward. For soon it begins, and every world shall tremble. The Winterers must be prepared to outlast the great withering to come.
That's your ominous prediction, is it?
No, it's nature's proclamation. Can't you hear it? It echoes in the silence, left by the will of the star.
Winter blows fate's wandering will, for grey clouds presage winter's chill. Okay. So I think it's even more likely that next expansion we will be dealing with the Winters. Starting to believe next expansion, I think will be either on the 9 or across multiple shards, which is very possible. Because this is definitely going in that direction, the story, for a while. I could see going through multiple shards, actually. I know we're not going to Meracedia. Yushipi said that we were not. He knows when we are going there, though. But it is not next expansion. I would guess the one after. But we'll have to see. 7.5 will give a better look at where we're going. And 7.55 or 0.58? Anyway, like that, there will be a 2 or 3 quests that's cut from 7.5 and it's going to be put later, so that is very possible. It is weird because the Ascians seems like they wanted to save the 9, which is weird because they made the mess on the 9. Although I'm assuming whoever remains probably might be aware now of how it works and know they can do the rejoining and all that, and maybe they changed their stance. Hard to say. But anyway, that was a very good MSQ. Very, very good. The dungeon was okay. The Doom Train was great. The solo duty was pretty fun too. And just in terms of storylines, good riddance, Alfino and Alze. I'm saying that as a joke, like if they have nothing to bring, then don't bring them in, right? Grahatia's voice was weird. I'm definitely betting it's not the same actor. As I said earlier, like Ishtola sounded different during Dawn Shell, but it still sounded like the same actress. Here, I don't see it. I don't think it's the same guy. A shame. He's doing a good job, but I think I preferred the previous one. Assuming it's a different one. But like, yeah, I'm like 90% sure it's a different one. I would be shocked if it's the same. Anyway, that'll be it for tonight. It took longer than I initially wanted, but I did do a rant at the beginning for Gunbreaker. And yeah, so tomorrow I'll be back. I'm gonna do the Unreal, prog, and probably clear and re-clear. If we finish early enough, probably also the Doom Train Extreme. Otherwise, I will go to Friday. I doubt we would clear Doom Train tomorrow. If we go to it tomorrow, I doubt we would clear it, even though the fight doesn't look difficult for one bit. Maybe like one or two mechanics toward the end that looks a bit more interesting, but like from what I've seen, like the fight doesn't look particularly interesting. And very straightforward. If I were to guess pain points in that fight, it will be all after the ad phase. Even that phase could be a bit of a pain point, but after prog it should be fine. But after that, for the most part, it's not really pain point. It's more like the snap, where it does the boss does a snap, and that means that's a snapshot for everybody has a circle AoE under them. You have to move out from danger. I believe that could be a pain point in PF. There's 2 or 3 of those in the second half, so yeah. I don't think it's gonna be that bad. Maybe during prog it's gonna be a pain, and after that for re-clears, I could see that being a pain point anyway. We'll see. Maybe it'll be better than I expected. Anyway, that is it. So I'll see you later. Have a good night.